Hello everyone and welcome to Cretaceous Cantina, where today we're having a look at the Mattel Jurassic World Dino Rivals Basic Pteranodon. So this is an interesting one. I've already reviewed a couple items in this so-called basic line and I liked them quite a bit, but it's such a weird scale because nothing is really like in scale with anything else. It's not even in scale within this same assortment. Like, it's supposed to be sold as like sort of a 12-inch assortment, but they're not really 12-inch scale. So it's kind of a weird thing. It's basically a budget figure at the $10 price point. I got mine from Amazon.com. As you can see, the packaging is the new Dino Rivals aesthetic. Previously, these items were available in the Fallen Kingdom aesthetic. Tells you here that this is 48 centimeters across, and this isn't a scale I'm really collecting. I'm just kind of buying a few here and there. The Pteranodon seemed like it'd be a cool one because it is pretty basic looking, no pun intended, which might lend itself to a good repaint or, you know, hanging from the ceiling, something like that. And here at the back, you can see some of the other items available in this assortment. All right, let's go ahead and spend a moment to get this unboxed. When we come back, we will take a closer look. All right, so when you first remove this from the packaging, you can see straight through the Pteranodon. You have its wings that are separate here. You can see that they are on insert molded connections. So we're gonna go ahead and slide these in. So basically just put them in like that and push. You hear that nice popping sound indicating that it is all the way in. And then we'll do the same thing here. Get that all the way in. There we go. And yeah, this is it. It's not bad. It's basically what you would envision it to be. It's a very simplistic looking Pteranodon. The sculpting on it is fairly decent. If you've seen any of these Mattel Jurassic World Pteranodons, you know what to expect here. You know it's going to have a nice head sculpt. It's a little bit shrink wrapped, not terribly so, but it looks good. The eyes look particularly nice, I would say. They're painted pretty decently on here. And the sculpting throughout is nice. You can see the nice texturing going on here on the wings. That looks really nice. I like all of those striations and lines and such. It looks good. It looks good. And here underneath, it's not bad. So there's no action features with this basic assortment, but you know, you can kind of play with it a little bit because you do have articulation here at the neck. That's actually pretty decent. That's more than I expected. I think that's even more than the Roarvors or the Destructosaurus Pteranodon. And then we'll go ahead and open the jaw. So, oh, there goes our wing. You can see a little bit of glue right there. And but it does open quite a bit. No painted detail on the inside. Let's go ahead and get that back in there. There we go. And yeah, that looks pretty nice. Again, you have insert molded joints here at the wings, so you should be able to make them go in like this. They are very tight joints. And yeah, that is a potential way that you could pose this guy if you so wanted to do. And let's see how far back. We're never gonna get these to stay in, are we? Let's see how far, I wanna know how far back those go. All right. Yeah, this is not working out too well. All right. Yeah, it's going in all the way. I know it's going in all the way. It's just not staying in when I start moving the wings. See, it just comes out like that. We'll make do as best we can. Doesn't seem to really be an issue with the other wing. So it goes out about that much. There we go. I think I got it. I guess it wasn't in all the way after all. So this is your aesthetic with the flying sort of pose, and it's pretty nice. I am pretty pleased with the way that this looks. Again, it is a very simplistic toy. As far as the coloring goes, it's basically this burnt orange color with some lighter orange on the head, along the crest and the snout, and then a little bit of coloring along the tips of the outside of the wings. So it is very simple. But it is pretty sizable. I mean, it definitely is bigger than like the Roarvors or the Destructosaurus Pteranodon, if you're wondering about that. And speaking of, let's do a little comparison. So let's bring in the Roarvors Pteranodon, and just holding it up like that, you can see that the wingspan of the basic Pteranodon is a good bit bigger. It's got a wider wingspan, probably by about a couple inches on each side, maybe 2.5 inches on either side. And lengthwise, length, you can see that the basic Pteranodon is definitely a little bit longer. So yeah, overall dimensions are going to be a little bit different. And I assume the same will be true here for the Destructosaurus Copter Attack Set Pteranodon right here, which is the same size of the Roarivores Pteranodon. So that is also the case. The colors are a little bit more similar, these next to each other. It almost feels like you could have these as like a pair, even though the sizes are a bit different. You could have them as like a couple or part of the same flock or something if you wanted to do that, because the colors are very similar between the two. I actually kind of like that quite a bit. Of course, if we bring something in like the Legacy Pteranodon, you can see that it is puny next to this basic Pteranodon. It's almost like a little baby, like kind of just like on its mother's back, like yeah, something like that. Also want to note how the legs are actually movable on this one. This has been a gripe of mine. I really don't like how we don't have a Pteranodon that you can kind of pose more in like a perched position. I don't think you can really accomplish that still with this one. It looks hilarious. But it is nice that you can do that. I mean, they don't swing back all that much, but they do move forward. And you can see they kind of move in unison, but you can sort of move them separately. They're on the same hinge though, so I mean, they're definitely, that's why they're moving together. But yeah, I do hope we still get a Pteranodon that, you know, you can have in a perched position or you can have more in a flying sort of position. But to do that, you would also need jointed wings, and we don't really have that here at the midpoint of the wing. Overall, you guys, this isn't too bad. If you've been collecting these deluxe, well, they're basic is the name of the line, but I feel like they should be called the deluxe line, right? Because they're bigger, but if you're collecting these basic dinosaurs, I know this isn't a dinosaur, it's a flying reptile, then you're probably going to want to add it to your collection. If you're not, I think it's one of the more interesting ones because it's sizable and you can repaint it. And if you wanted to hang it from your ceiling, I think this would be a good one to go with because there aren't any features. It's meant just to be posed and played with. So in that sense, I do like it for what it is. But if you're not focusing on this line and you're not going to be repainting or hanging things from the ceiling, then it's probably not going to be for you. It's probably not going to be the assortment you're going to be going for. I think it's a great assortment for kids. You're basically getting a value figure at $10, which is a pretty good price point, honestly. I do anticipate certain stores will be carrying these. I know Kohl's carries this assortment, and Amazon obviously does as well. I'm not sure who else carries this assortment. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this Pteranodon down below. Are you thinking of picking it up? Let me know what your thoughts are. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. A special thanks to my Cantina patrons over on Patreon. As always, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Cretaceous Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.